King Charles III, now 77 years old, is facing a reality that most people never have to think about when it comes to travel, and it all comes down to the ongoing cancer treatment he has been undergoing since his diagnosis was first announced back in February of 2024. According to a new report, the king can no longer travel the way other members of the royal family do, and the reason is entirely tied to the extra precautions his medical team now requires whenever he leaves the comfort and familiarity of his own royal residences. The report explains that Charles's cancer treatment has forced him to take extra measures whenever he travels, all in an effort to avoid any kind of untoward situation connected to his ongoing health condition. What makes this particularly striking is that Charles has always been known for being incredibly particular about his surroundings, but insiders now say that those particular habits have become even more important since he began receiving treatment. A royal source explained that familiarity, comfort, and routine matter enormously for him right now, especially given how demanding his schedule continues to be, which means his staff have to make sure absolutely everything is arranged precisely before he even arrives at a destination. So, what exactly does that mean in practice? According to reports, Charles now travels with an extraordinarily detailed list of personal items, essentially recreating his own private living space wherever he goes. This reportedly includes everything from his orthopedic bed to his personal toilet seat, along with his preferred whisky and specific foods that he likes to have on hand. Even Queen Camilla, who is 79, is said to bring her own preferred bedroom furnishings along on trips with him, showing just how much preparation goes into keeping the couple comfortable while away from their usual residences. One particularly vivid detail comes from royal biographer Tom Bower, who wrote that Charles once sent his staff ahead an entire day early, complete with a truck carrying furniture, specifically to replace what Bower described as perfectly appropriate fittings that were already in the guest rooms where he was staying. According to Bower, that truck contained nothing less than Charles and Camilla's complete bedrooms, including the king's orthopedic bed itself, along with his own personal linens. Beyond the furniture, other items reportedly packed for these trips include a small radio, his preferred brand of toilet paper, bottled water, and bottles of Lafroig whiskey, one of his long-known personal favorites. While some of these habits may sound like simple royal eccentricity, insiders are now framing them within the context of his cancer treatment, suggesting that maintaining this level of familiar comfort has become less about personal preference and more about genuinely supporting his well-being while he continues an extensive and demanding program of public engagements. This is a king who, despite everything, has continued to show up. Since his diagnosis was first made public in February of 2024, after doctors discovered a form of cancer during treatment for an unrelated, benign enlarged prostate condition, Charles has remained remarkably active. He briefly stepped back from public-facing duties for a few months on doctors' orders, but he was back on the road by the spring of that year, and he has largely stayed there ever since. In fact, royal watchers have noted throughout this year that Charles appears to be doing better than many expected. Sources close to the palace have described him as being in particularly good form, with his schedule of engagements nearly back to where it was before his diagnosis. Just this past December, in a rare and deeply personal video message recorded for a cancer awareness campaign, Charles shared that his treatment schedule would actually be reduced heading into 2026, something he described at the time as both a personal blessing and a testament to how far cancer care has advanced. He credited early diagnosis and effective medical intervention for that progress, while also using the moment to encourage others to take screening seriously. Even so, the palace has remained notably guarded about the specifics, never disclosing exactly what type of cancer Charles has, nor detailing precisely what his treatment involves, though it is widely believed to include a form of immunotherapy. What is clear, based on everything reported so far, is that reduced treatment does not mean the same thing as remission, and the palace has been careful never to use that word. Charles continues to be monitored, continues to receive care, and continues to quietly adjust the way he lives and travels in order to keep functioning at the level the public has come to expect from him. That balancing act, Between the demands of being a working monarch and the very private, very human realities of managing a serious illness is really what this latest report captures. Behind the pomp, the ceremonial appearances, and the packed calendar of engagements, there is now an entire operation built around making sure that wherever King Charles goes, in some small way, it still feels like home. For a man who has spent his entire life valuing routine, structure, and familiarity, that comfort may be less about luxury and far more about resilience, giving him exactly what he needs to keep showing up for the role he has spent his whole life preparing for.